I never imagined that the person I trusted the most would be the one to betray me in the place I felt safest. My own home. But that night, the night that started like any other, everything I believed about loyalty, friendship, and love was shattered. Betrayed in our own bed. I whispered under my breath, staring at the ceiling, replaying every detail, every smile, every subtle glance I had foolishly ignored. My name is Ethan, and for 7 years, I believed my marriage to Lisa was unbreakable. She was beautiful, smart, and kind. A partner I thought I could trust with everything, including my heart. Our home had always been a sanctuary, a place of comfort after long days at work. But it turns out, sanctuary can be an illusion, and the ones who make it feel safe are sometimes the very ones who will tear it apart. It started with subtle changes. Lisa becoming distant, distracted, less affectionate. I brushed it off at first, convincing myself she was just stressed from work or tired from life's daily grind. But then I noticed the small things. The extra time on her phone, hush phone calls. The way she would stiffen when our mutual friend, Mark, texted her. Mark had been a friend of both of us for years, someone I considered family. But the signs I ignored began stacking up like warning flags in the middle of a storm. One evening, I came home early from work, intending to surprise her with dinner. I wanted to reconnect, to show her that despite everything, I noticed I cared, and I was still present. Instead, I walked into a scene that froze me in place. Lisa and Mark together in our bedroom, laughing, close, completely unaware, or indifferent, to my presence. The betrayal didn't just cut. It exploded, tearing through the very foundation of trust one had built my life on. I didn't react immediately. Years of composure, strategy, and patience kicked in. My mind raced, cataloging every detail, noting every action, calculating the perfect response. This wasn't just about anger. It was about clarity, precision, and ensuring that I didn't lose myself while the world I trusted crumbled around me. That night, I decided I wouldn't just confront them. I would plan a reckoning, one that revealed the depth of their deceit, and ensured they never underestimated me again. The next few days were a delicate balance of restraint and observation. Lisa didn't know I had seen everything. I moved through the house like a ghost, watching her interactions with Mark, noting the stolen glances, the subtle touches, the inside jokes that now felt like daggers to me. I didn't confront her. I didn't call Mark. I let them reveal themselves in their own arrogance, knowing that the truth, once fully exposed, would hit harder than any confrontation I could stage. I began documenting everything. Photos, messages, timestamps, small details that, when pieced together, painted a clear picture of their betrayal. I had always believed in handling conflicts logically, strategically, and this was no different. I wasn't driven by blind rage. I was driven by the need for justice, by the necessity of reclaiming control over a life that had been infiltrated by deceit. Then came the subtle shifts. Lisa's behavior changed, even though she didn't know I was watching. She was more cautious, more guarded, trying to hide the evidence I already had. And yet, her attempts only confirmed what I suspected. Guilt is a language that speaks louder than words. Every laugh that was too loud, every hurried glance at her phone, every small excuse for staying late at work. All of it was part of a story she didn't want me to read, but I was already fluent in it. One night, as I pretended to be asleep, I overheard a conversation between them in the living room. Mark's voice, too familiar and too intimate, mixed with Lisa's laughter. My chest tightened. I felt the rage, the betrayal, the disbelief, but I didn't let it consume me. Instead, I solidified my plan. I would reveal everything at the right moment, when the impact would be undeniable. I wouldn't just confront them. I would orchestrate a revelation that left no room for excuses, no chance for denial, and no shadow of doubt about who was in control. By the end of the week, I had everything in place. The photos, the messages, the timeline, all documented meticulously. I had rehearsed my confrontation in my mind, imagining every word, every pause, every reaction. When the night finally came, it wouldn't just be about exposing the betrayal. It would be about reclaiming my life, my home, and my dignity. The reckoning was coming, and I would make sure they understood exactly what it meant to cross me in the sanctuary of our own bed. The night I chose to act arrived quietly, deceptively ordinary, with the kind of calm that makes chaos hit harder. I waited until Mark had left, feigning an errand, and then confronted Lisa directly. Her expression shifted from casual surprise to panic as she realized I knew everything. The stolen glances, the secret conversations, the betrayal in our bed. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I let silence do the work. Lisa, I began, voice steady but heavy. I've seen everything. Every message, every excuse, every lie. Do you have anything to say for yourself? Her eyes filled with tears, but the rehearsed guilt wasn't enough to mask the arrogance she had believed would protect her. Ethan, it's complicated, she stammered, but I cut her off. Complicated? You think betraying the man you vowed to love and respect is complicated? I took a slow step closer, letting the weight of my words sink in. You crossed a line that can't be uncrossed. And Mark, he's just as responsible for this. But I'm not here for excuses. I'm here to reclaim control over my life. Lisa's face paled, and in that moment, I realized something critical. Fear is far more powerful than anger. I didn't need to shout. I didn't need to plead. I simply laid out the evidence, one undeniable fact after another. Every text, every photo, every timestamp, meticulously documented, left no room for denial. The arrogance, the secrecy, the sense that they could get away with it, all dissolved under the weight of truth. I paused, letting the room absorb the tension, before delivering the final blow. You thought you could betray me in our own home, in the sanctuary of our life together, and get away with it. You were wrong. Every choice, every deception, every lie is now visible, and the consequences are yours to bear. Lisa's tears flowed freely now, unguarded, genuine, but it was too late. The betrayal had been exposed, the power dynamic shifted, and I had reclaimed the narrative of my life. As I left the house that night, I didn't feel victorious in a shallow sense. I felt clarity, resolution, and an unshakable understanding. Betrayal cuts deep, but confronting it strategically, with calm and precision, can turn the wound into a weapon of truth. I didn't just survive their deception. I turned it into a reckoning that neither Lisa nor Mark would ever forget. By the time I stepped outside, the cool night air felt liberating. The bed that had been tainted with deceit would remain a memory, a lesson etched in the very walls of our home. But for me, it was more than revenge, it was reclamation. And in that reclamation, I found not just justice, but the clarity and strength to move forward, unbroken, and unafraid of whatever came next.